The basement.
The basement. The basement.
Welcome everyone and happy Halloween. I'm Stan.
I'm Guy.
I'm Mark.
And we're with The Basement. And we are doing part 4? Part 4 of our Halloween Monster Roundtable. And with no further ado, so that I can get some sleep this evening, I'm going to hand it right over to Mark.
I just want to say this is going to be a spectacle, because it's about ghosts. And what do you like or dislike about ghosts?
Alright, so...
I dislike that pun.
I should say in popular culture, not in general.
In if you're talking about like portrayals in movies and shit like that, I dislike everything.
Not even cartoons?
Even cartoons. I dislike everything.
You're a Grinch.
You cannot recreate or portray ghosts to the extent of what you experience with the paranormal.
But they work in films, though. Like, they're the mischievous ones that do something, or they're like the spirits that come and try to eat your soul.
No.
Well, those are demons, but yeah. But, what do you think?
I think that ghosts work in the same way that the horror slasher films of the 80s work, of almost like a shock value horror monster. I'm very hard pressed to name movies involving ghosts that I actually like.
Ghosts.
What I dislike is using them as a pretense for movies that should never really exist, that nothing is really going on. I mean, there's a lot out there in pop culture with paranormal activity. Like, we could probably film that film with the equipment we have here.
Mm-hmm.
It's not...
It's people just acting or being unnerved by things, and then a couple of scares in it that fit, but...
A lot of times, to me, a lot of times what ghosts, like, the way they use ghosts is just like, let's do jump scares. That's all it is.
Well, here's the thing I don't like. People try to capture it, like scientifically prove that they exist, which I believe they exist, firmly believe that they exist. But you can't. No one has ever done it. So they try to recreate it on film, like, ooh, it's going to be a ghost film, blah, 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 blah. You can't do it, because you can't do it in real life.
Like, thinking back to it, most of the films and things I like are about demons mainly, because demons are more tangible. But one I can think of that I did like, and I like both the American and the Japanese version, but it was The Grudge. Like, it just...
I fucking hate that movie.
But it fit though. A cat, a boy meowed like a cat.
Here.
What's not to like?
Here. I just think I heard an eagle meow.
What is it, The Grudge 2, where the fucking deers attack the car?
Well, I didn't see The Grudge 2. I don't know that one. But it had jump scares, though. So I see your point on that. It wasn't... But it was more of a creep factor. I liked that. Like the stairwell, when it's just... You see the lights just rolling off. It works, in my opinion. And like The Ring, as well. Of just the dread, knowing that you're watching something that's it's gonna kill you somehow. How's it gonna do it? Oh, hey, this works. There's some creepy girl that doesn't have a haircut. She's gonna come crawl after you.
I really like The Ring. I didn't like the Japanese version.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, The Ring wasn't bad.
Yeah.
It just wasn't necessarily my favorite.
The Ring 2 is the one where the deer attacked the car, I think.
Oh,
I don't know. But you can't do it, because it's like, when you watch a ghost film, it's like, it's just a person.
Yeah, well...
They don't really capture that whole...
Is it like a Scooby-Doo horror, where it's someone with a mask? It's old John Buckley. He's coming after you with a knife.
Those meddling kids.
You're a stupid dog. It's sad to me that some kids don't get that when I make that comment at work.
Yeah.
Would have got away with it too if it wasn't for you darn kids and that stupid dog, and they all look at me like,
That was a Scooby-Doo reference from Scooby-Doo Mysteries. It's from the 70s. It's... Watch it someday.
Best cartoon. Well, not the best, but it was good.
It was fun.
As a child. Okay.
When they teamed up with like some random...
John Cena in the WWE.
That's the newer ones.
Yeah. They
But
teamed up
in the
with
past, they would team up with Batman and Robin or the Harlem
all
Globetrotters.
sorts of actors and
Yeah.
celebrities of the time.
It was actually good.
Very well done.
Let's also point out that I'm wearing a horror punk band shirt of Misfits.
It's misfitting for the evening. Anyhow, what apparition, what kind are you most interested in? This is kind of a hard one to say, but like what... Like
Let me answer for Guy. The real kind.
Yeah. See, this is where you're getting into different topics for me, because it's like ghosts are like, you know, we're on the Hollywood monster category, but for me, ghosts are real. Ghosts are ghosts.
Spirits.
Paranormal. Yeah. So-
I see what you're saying, but like in portrayals, like you hate them all, so it doesn't really apply to you, but you fiend. But anyhow,
I like it when it's just kind of creepy, I guess. I don't need the tangible ghost. I don't need the ghost that has this big master plan. Like, if you're going to use them in Hollywood, it's not about... Like, you can't use them as the core of the story. I think they can just be present in the story.
there's
A good movie, actually. White Noise. With Michael Keaton. That was
I
actually
haven't
pretty
seen
good.
that.
I thought it was pretty good. I don't remember it.
one more recent one I saw on Netflix, which you would never like it.
This is going to get the thumbs up or thumbs down.
Was The Babadook. It's a weird film.
Oh.
I heard that movie
I haven't
was...
seen it, but...
It's super.
It's not even a ghost film. I heard it's just like...
It's a fairy
It's a
tale.
dysfunctional family film.
Well, it is. Yeah.
That's what the movie's about.
It had
It's
themes.
about their dysfunctional family.
These films, they have themes, but I don't care about the themes. I'm going for the just straight storytelling. So
Deliver
yes.
Us from Evil. That was an okay one.
Oh, that was
The
a-
owl that rolls up. Ha ha hoo! Ha ha hoo!
but just that one, and with Babadook, it was just interesting because it was just a creep factor, and it was about for family and just how the ending played out.
Hold on.
Yeah!
Sorry, I was pressing buttons to get my computer back on.
And just the
The Babadook's gonna get
yeah. Also, another one was Dead Birds. It was a independent film, but it was again about demons though. But it was like Civil War era. A group went into a house and they had a bunch of like specters come after them, and like they had creatures coming for them, and yeah, it had a big twist ending. that I
Demons
liked.
and ghosts can go hand in hand because they're kind of both the paranormal.
Yeah.
That's weird. Like, okay, then in that case, Insidious. I thought it was a more recent one that was well done, and it had jump scares a lot, but it also was creepy. I like
That
creepy.
also dealt with astral projection and out of body experiences.
Yeah. See.
Now, if you ask me the question of what type of apparition I would want to experience, would be a poltergeist. I think that would be interesting as all get out to have like just sit here and have that mic just fly away like.
I don't want it to fly away. It was not cheap.
It was a very expensive mic.
Well, it wasn't a very expensive mic, but
Okay, have Mark just get thrown through that. No, that was probably expensive.
that was kind of expensive as well.
You can't see it, but there's a china cabinet over there with a bunch of stuff in it. So.
Ultimately, like, getting back on topic, thinking about ghosts and in popular culture and in movies and stuff, the only ghost film that sticks out to me was 13 Ghosts, and that was only because the first half of it, I was like, ooh, this is going to actually be a good movie. And then the second half of it, I was like, oh, this is a really terrible movie.
Yeah.
Like, I got myself all in the mood. Like, you can get yourself into that horror film mood where it was just like, I was alone, I was younger. I was living at my mom's house in the basement. I'm alone, had all the lights out in the house, just the movie on. Like, oh, I'm gonna creep myself out a little bit, and I did. Like the first part of the movie, I was like, a little bit, and then just like by the end of it, I was just like, this is funny. It's
You
a
get
joke.
goggles that can see ghosts.
At the time, I
Good
thought
stuff.
that was like, hey, this is kind of interesting. And then I look back and I saw it, like 2 years ago, and I was like, oh god, this is a horrible film.
Yeah, it's very bad. But that's the only thing. I mean, I remember Ghost Ship parts of it only because I had such high hopes for it, and it was so horrible.
Well, I mean, I never saw the original, but House on Haunted Hill was a good one where it was just. I really appreciated that the wife in it thought that her husband was messing with him, so she was just constantly doing things like things would happen and she'd think, oh, it's my husband doing it just to mess with me, and then it'd be the other way around where her husband thought his wife was doing it, and just back and forth, and it was just fun humor.
Yeah. I
It wasn't
like
really humorous at all, but
I like the
it worked.
the real TV show things that
Mhm.
have to deal with ghosts.
Wiggly camera. Oh, there's something in there. Come for you.
Yeah, like those like the investigation types, and then
One of the things that's tough about ghosts when you're dealing with like the real situation ones, it's like the Bigfoot shows, which like, oh, here's a broken twig. That definitely a Bigfoot here. Like, you get so much stuff where it's just like, with ghost stuff, it's just like, you get lens flare. I mean, it happens sometimes, and they're like, it's a ghost. Like, no, it's lens flare.
There's so many ways to explain it off.
Yeah. I mean, yes, I've seen plenty of things that are not easily explained, but
All right, best portrayal. What do you feel was well done? There's got to be something. No, nothing.
I'm thinking. I'm racking my brain here. I thought The Conjuring was going to be just fucking terrible, but I enjoyed The Conjuring.
It was decent. I remember seeing that. I liked it.
I can't think of anything off the top of my head that I was like, oh, this is good, this is well done.
There have been some I've seen on Netflix that are decent. I can't think of the names of them, so that shows you how memorable they are, I guess. But there have been some that are awful too.
He was too busy chilling.
Yeah, sit in a dark room alone. But I just think Insidious. I appreciated that because it had more of a story to it, and I mean, I like the ghost stories, but ultimately, it's again leads back to it's about the characters and it's about how they build up to it and what happened to cause the ghost to exist. So that's
This-
getting
Not really necessarily pertaining to ghosts exclusively, but it may be part of the thing that may be a struggle in all monsters, ghosts, vampires, the whole works is modern movies do not. Well, not all. There are a handful of movies out there that do a good job, but for the most part, they're not real good at developing characters. And when you're dealing with a monster movie of any sort, especially a film about ghosts, you got to build characters.
Yeah, they're more focused on the jump scares, the action, the different things like that. It's all about the characters all the time in every film, to me, at least. But something I really like about ghost films is just the creep factor. Just something's over there, you don't know what it is, or there's something watching you. You can't really put your finger on it.
Or you go into a dark basement to investigate something, and then nothing happens. But the whole time you're like,
Yeah. See, when they do that, it works because you expect something to happen and they surprise you. It's a twist.
I have come up with my best ghost film.
Oh, what's
Bad
that?
portrayal. Hand job camping.
oh yeah, yeah.
Okay, I'll give you that one. Do that towards the camera, please. Yes, look it up sometime.
It's hilarious.
It's a trailer for not actual film, at least not.
No,
at the point.
it was not. It's
Okay.
not an actual film.
But
it was
yeah,
done in jest.
But it could work. But yeah, just okay. I guess going like Friday the 13th and that sort is like those were good too. They're slasher films. They're gory and bloody.
Yeah, but those aren't necessarily ghost films.
Well, he was
That's-
the apparition.
If anything, that would be a zombie film.
Okay, that's true. Okay, never mind.
Jason, they're monsters. I mean, they're slasher films ultimately.
Uh-huh.
Freddy is
That's what I was saying.
he's mental. He's all
Yeah.
in your head.
Mm-hmm.
Not a ghost.
Okay, true. But yeah, I mean, ghosts aren't my forte to speak of, but I like creep factor, and they find their way into a lot of them. So that's why I would appreciate it, but I can see what most don't. And also, things like the Blair Witch Project.
Yep.
That when I saw that, I was like, okay, it's gonna get good. Well, this is irritating, but it's gonna get good. It's not good.
Everybody was like, "Oh, it's such." I didn't go and see it in the theaters.
I did.
And everybody was like, "Oh, it's so good. It's so good." And me and Vince rented it. And we were watching it at my apartment on First and First. And both of us were just like, this is so terrible. However, on the flip side, the other thing that we discussed is the fact that we could have made that film. Why didn't we make it and make millions of dollars?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I mean, it was played up. It was more of an experience than an actual than a straight up film. But, spoiler, I'm going to talk about the ending, where they just stare at a wall. I mean, it's kind of creepy, I guess, but that just seems like it's something that, okay, they walk into a house, they look at a wall.
The entirety of that film is a community college film project.
Yeah, it really is. So, yeah, where's Portrayal? Let's get to that, because we haven't already done that. I'm going to say that. No, let's save the time.
I would agree. I didn't even think about Blair Witch Project. Normally I would say Paranormal Activity.
Mm-hmm. I've never actually seen any Paranormal Activities because I'm assuming they're not really great.
Any Paranormal Activity after the first one.
Okay.
The first one was bad. The second one was worse. I don't like the series. I just thought they were dumb.
Yeah, it just seems like it's a lot of... It's focusing more on the action and not the characters, like as I understand it. And also, like you said, the characters can be built well. And they can also be built where I don't really care about so-and-so, they're going to die. Whatever.
Well, and the thing is like, it took itself too seriously.
Yeah.
Whereas like 13 Ghosts, I can at least get a laugh out of.
This is true.
Boo.
You're scary. Okay. Phil, any other thoughts on Ghosts? Other than you want to like have real ones touch your hair? Not anything else. It's weird. Okay, but other than that, yeah.
I don't have anything else. Ghosts, it's an interesting subject on the real level.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Only because I don't necessarily think it's something that science can rule out.
Mm-hmm. I'm not saying I believe or disbelieve. I'm skeptical, but just hearing about them and thinking it's possible. I mean, I usually try to think of like this is the reason why this would work, but at the same time, if it doesn't fit, I have an open mind to it.
Yeah, situationally, I've experienced too many things that don't.
I just want to point out, if it doesn't fit, I have an open mind to it.
On that note, okay. Anything else? I mean, we just did that. Okay, so.
Closing comments? Is that where we're at?
Yeah.
All right.
Ghosts are real.
So in closing, this is what we've summed up. Ghosts are real. Mark is a prude. I am tired. No, thank you very much for taking the time to watch us talk about things. And if you have any kind of topic you want us to discuss at the round table, go ahead and bring it in. We've talked about doing many different roundtables, and ghosts is an interesting topic because it's something that we talked about sharing some of the things that have happened to individuals in the group that are not necessarily, I'm not saying they're ghosts, but they're difficult to explain things and they're interesting. We've talked about that as a roundtable, so that may be something you see. Maybe it'll be next Halloween, who knows? But if you've got ideas, share them with us. We really appreciate you guys taking the time to watch us. If you've got, the time, watch the rest of our videos. We think we're funny sometimes.
Some days.
Thanks again for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. And we will see you guys all on the flip side. Later.
Okay. He's bringing down the mountain. Okay, ready.
I'm done. Stick an arrow in him.